Hi everyone, Brad Sandler here from Foundations, just doing the weekly video. And in today's session or teaching, we're going to be exploring an idea that life is a triangle game. That is the title of today's lessons. And what I mean by that is we all play a game. It's a very old game. It's embedded in our thoughts in very deep ways that we don't understand. And really the whole reality that we live in, each one of us, is nothing more than a manifestation of billions of ancient teachings and stories and narratives, and it shapes the essence of who we think we are as individuals, who we think we are as communities and societies, greater societies, and even like the identity we have as a species is shaped by these stories. And a nice simple way to look at these is based on the three positions that we move through in our life. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of dictate, or not dictate, but explain what each of these positions is. And I'm going to invite you to kind of feel into your experience right now and explore where you think you are within the three corners of the triangle. And what is this triangle? What is the game? So let's grab a pen here. The first corner of the triangle is, or one of the roles that we play in our life is, we have the heroes. We have the heroes. These are the heroes of the stories, the heroes of politics, the heroes of economics, the heroes in business. Just the heroes are the rescuers. Another way you could look at it is rescuers. So that is one role that it gets played in the game of life. The other one is the victims. We have the victims of the world. So we've all been there. We've played the victims ourselves sometimes. Sometimes we deny and we won't play the victim, and we are just the heroes helping the victims. And then the one that I've actually probably struggled with the most in my life is we have the judges. Yeah, this is kind of the people who go around and they judge. It's your fault that this is happening, or this change has been made and it's because of these people, and they kind of have a third-party position where they observe and make judgments on the heroes and the victims. And it kind of moves, so this is the game. We're going to call this the master game. So the first step in all of this is recognizing that there is a game. There is a large aggregate story as well as micro stories that go on our planet. And it's made up of these positions. This is a simplified model, but it's made up of these positions, and it shapes the game of life. And there's one other part to this. First, we have to acknowledge that there is a game. And most of us, including myself, are caught up in the game. Like I said, majority of my life I've probably gravitated more towards the judge. I mean, judging other people, and that's why it's ended up being a big pillar of my own life, is learning how to step away from judgment. But there's only one way to attain freedom and peacefulness in life, and as one of my spiritual teachers has taught me, the only way to really exit the game is through the non-attachment to these rules. Because what happens with the judges is once they've judged enough and they've condemned what's going on in the world, they're the ones who naturally will shift, and they'll ultimately move into the hero role. And once you step into the hero role, you are the one that's empowered, that you can take action, you can do something about things, and you can ultimately be the person who can rescue the victim, which is you've learned all about that because you've spent some time judging that these are the victims, these are the heroes. Now you move into the hero role and you're going to save other people based on the idea that you know what's best for others. You know what's best for the world, for society. And then what happens with heroes is often at some point they fall and they may become pulled into victimhood. And then that has the whole poor me, we can put that in, poor me, become helpless, and you go through that state of consciousness that it's the world is condemning me and I'm not in a good situation, kind of an attitude or a feeling, really. It's a feeling of like, this is not good, other people, this is not what I want, all those types of thoughts and ideas. And then ultimately, if you stay there for long enough, you may just move into another place, back to a place of deep judgment, and you'll restart your cycle of judgment from a new perspective. So these are kind of the different positions within this game of consciousness, this game of society, this game of storytelling. And basically what's going on is that the only way out to exit the game and why would we want to exit the game? The main reason to want to exit the game is to take on a new, more peaceful position where we can just accept the world the way it is. We don't need to judge it. We don't need to save it. We're not a victim of it. There's just the world happening. And it's just happening. And all of these positions is based on some kind of an outcome. That you have an outcome that you want. You either want to escape, you want to save things and change the way it is, or you're just judging it like it's not okay the way it is. The only real way to exit the game is through the path of non-attachment, of just moving into a more objective position. And that doesn't mean that you'll never play in the game, you'll never participate in society or anything like that. It's just realizing that there is a great story, an ancient story that has been built through evolution, all of time, where these stories are deeply embedded in and rooted in people's psyche, and it all comes back to your mind. What do you have within your mind? What are the thoughts that you have? And you can even take a moment, actually I'd like you to take a moment right now and just really think and feel into it right now. So if you're watching this video, just take a minute, shake out a little, take a deep breath and ask yourself, do I feel like I'm in a state of victimhood right now? Do I feel like the victim to the world right now? And just really honestly answer that. If it's a no, okay. If it's a yes, I feel like I'm a victim to what's going on, just accept that. That's where I am. Right? It's not a bad thing to be in the game. Just about awareness. Or maybe you're feeling like you're in a place of judgment. I've recently felt like I was in that place, and I had to really observe that in myself, and that's why I'm actually doing this video right now. I was really feeling judgmental about a lot of things going on in the world, and I had to really take a minute to step back and have a look at that. Or maybe you feel like you're the hero, you feel like you're in a really strong position right now, and there's some things you really want to make change and do something about it, and that's okay. You're playing the hero in the story. And I think the beautiful part of this is that your ability to change things, to change stories, to change narratives really becomes more true when you have that ability to step out, to move in, to exit the game, and to move into a place of non-attachment so that you can actually be more calm and be more composed in the reason why you would enter the game again at all. You know, maybe you'd never enter the game again. That would be sort of like the Buddhist path. Like many spiritual people, they fully exit the game, like the Buddha, and they don't necessarily come back into the game. But many do. Many of these people, they exit the game fully, right? Whether it's the Buddha, even, well, for him, for example, he exited the game, found peace and serenity, accepted what was, how the world works, how the universe functions, and he did come back to come teach, and in some respects kind of play this hero role. So a couple things to consider. I'm just going to go down here, but a couple things to consider in all this is every day we gravitate a little bit more to one of these positions. So it's a very good practice in observation, just to observe where you are, where you're gravitating within this game. So every day we gravitate to a position. The other thing is that we flow through these positions. Sometimes we flow through these positions in big stints, like maybe you're in one position for a year even. Sometimes we move through these cycles quicker. Sometimes it's just days and you go in and you're more volatile, like a stock or something. So sometimes we're much more volatile and we move through these positions quicker. And the last is that you might not want to necessarily look at it this way, but until you gain the capacity in your life and the awareness of this kind of understanding of the narratives of the world, until you have some level of ability to be unattached to the outcomes of the world, you're essentially trapped in the game. And this video really, and just, the path of higher consciousness, is to become aware of the narratives that are shaping life so that you have some level of ability to change your feelings, the way you feel about life. So don't get trapped. So, like I said at the start, the first step is just remembering that there is a game. There is this cycle of narratives that we all play. We play it as societies, we play it as individuals. And it's only once we really gain awareness of this fact that we can start to edit the things in our lives, and most importantly, edit the way that we feel about things and that we see things. It's all within your mind. So you have to remember that the way that you see life is being shaped by the thoughts in many respects. There's some things that are truths, like the fact that my heart beats and it's one of the greatest organs, it's one of the greatest miracles of life. It's just a truth. It just is that way, and I can become aware of it. But the way you see things is entirely shaped by the thoughts that move through it, right? And if it's more blank, like there's less thoughts and there's less urgency and less focus on the individual thoughts, then you can be a lot more peaceful in life. Something that I've had to work on a lot. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. Life is a triangle game, and so as you learn more about the fact that there is a game, it gives you more capacity to exit the game and ultimately find more peace in life when you do need it, when you need to be able to step out of the game. Right? So, I sometimes I'm often in the game, but as I'm learning this, it's giving me more control, that if I'm overwhelmed, I can step out of the game and come into tranquility in my life. Anyway, thank you for your attention, and may your highest intentions be realized. All my relations. Thank you. Till next time.